How's it going, everyone?
Hello.
Lakeinator here.
And Dark Flame 07 coming at you tonight to cast this final series of the North Americans Champion League on this beautiful Tuesday night.
Yeah, so how you doing, Dark Flame? You ready to get into this match and have a good time?
Absolutely. Can't wait to see. It seems like it'll be a pretty even matchup between these two teams. Can't wait to see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this game.
Coming off of that last match, double tension bow glaive. Not sure what other surprises tonight will hold in store.
Yeah, definitely an interesting pick by that glaive. Kind of questionable, but didn't quite work out for him in the end. So here coming up, we're going to have Aurora Parallax versus Faint Gaming. Definitely something to look out for.
Yes, both
I don't know
teams
too much about the players on the teams, but definitely looking forward to a good match tonight.
Yeah, you can expect to see Vox coming out on either laner. Both laners seem pretty proficient with the Vox. Grumpjaw in jungle, although he's pretty strong this patch in jungle. That would not be a surprise. But
yeah,
honestly,
Grumpjaw,
other than that,
one of
I'm
the
not
stronger
sure.
heroes this season. Definitely see a lot of banning him in ranks and many tournament games. Definitely something to look out for if it doesn't get banned.
Yeah, but both of these rosters have players that can pull just about any hero from the pool and put a good performance out. So no matter what happens tonight, you can be sure it'll be quite a game.
Yeah, so looks like we're just waiting for a few more people to join, and then we can get this game started.
Awesome. Hold
So
on for
sounds
1
like you
minute,
know a bit
guys.
more about these players than I do. Any picks that you think you're gonna be looking forward to with these games?
Not really, although the Adagio Roam might be an interesting pickup.
Ooh, haven't seen too many Adagio roams nowadays. Definitely something that would be great to see. Always good to see a few throwbacks come into the meta.
Yeah, although it seems like both teams do have good depth in their rosters. So I'm really not comfortable saying that any hero, or any player rather, has a definitive hero. But
yeah, definitely when you get up to the higher tiers, everyone's got multiple heroes they can pick from. Got your few favorites, but always good if you can just be an all-around player with your role.
okay, it looks like we're getting ready to begin. Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, get ready because we're hopping in the draft.
Game 1 with Aurora Parallax and Faint Gaming.
Let's see, what will the ban from Faint be? Seems
Got
like
that hover over the top. I'm gonna go with the first pick Taka ban.
that's an interesting choice.
Definitely a strong hero, but don't really see him banned too often.
Yes, although
unless you're going
Nick
for a
40,
specific pick.
yeah, Nick 40's performance on Taka does stand out from the previous game. Not sure
Yeah, seeing them
if they'll
there,
pick up the Grumpjaw, or it seems like they're highlighting over Vox. Vox
maybe
would
they just don't
definitely
like
be a
to deal
strong
with Taka.
pick. And it is the Vox coming out first. Vox definitely provides a lot of strong laning potential, especially in this patch.
See the
It'll be
highlight over the
interesting.
Idris. Have heard from a few people
Yeah.
Idris supposedly counters Vox. I find it's more of an
Gwen.
even matchup in my opinion, but seeing the
The
Gwen,
Gwyn and the
Gwen and the Arden. Arden's a nice pickup because definitely Vox Arden is a really strong combo per se when playing in these matches. So getting that Arden so they can't have that Arden Vox, definitely gonna help them out a little bit. Ooh, seeing the Grumpjaw left open. Are we gonna see a Grumpjaw this game?
Yeah, there we go.
There
Grumpjaw.
we go.
Now the question is, do they flex it into roam or into a CP jungler position? Quite honestly, here I think it could go either way.
Motivis highlighting that roam, so it looks like it's gonna be a jungle Grumpjaw by the looks of it. Oh, maybe not.
Could it be Black Feather, so a roam Grumpjaw?
Grumpjaw.
That is quite an interesting choice, but it could work out to their favor.
I've had my fair share of Roam Grumpjaw plays. He's definitely a really strong pick into Roam. Definitely good both jungle and Roam, but if you play him right, the abilities can work out really well in the Roam system.
Could it be that we are getting... Oh, a Sky.
Ooh, seeing a Sky.
That's
Sky works really well in fighting Grumpjaw.
Although, quite honestly, into the Black Feather, I'm not entirely sure about that pick. I think just purely going off of draft, I'm favoring A-side in this matchup.
Prepare for battle.
Yeah,
Black Feather is
definitely had the advantage with the draft here. I think the Rhyme might have been a better pick. Rhyme is really good against Grumpjaw, but also really well against that melee for the Black Feather.
Yeah.
Interesting choice going with the Sky. Maybe Jesus can work a miracle and bring this game on their side.
Yeah, I think that'll definitely be one of the keys to the game, to see how he is able to handle that Sky through this matchup.
Alright, and game 1 is now underway.
The battle for the
Now see
Halcyon
Sky
Fold
starting off
has
with the
begun.
Crystal Bit and the Weapon Blade, so definitely looking to get through that farm a little bit faster with the basic attacks.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Vox picking up some vision to help out A-side at the very beginning. Grumpjaw
very
going with a
interesting start
Iron
for
Guard
Vox.
contract. Could work out to their advantage, especially to defend against early aggression, because I think I do favor B-side very slightly in early aggression, because although A-side has the Grumpjaw, they have Gwen and Arden, two great early heroes.
Yeah, looking forward, most likely going to see a Tension Bow. We'll see whether he goes for the Tension Bow or goes straight into like a Sorrow Blade or a Shiv or something. Gonna be an interesting thing to look out for.
Yeah, it seems like Aurora is quickly taking the mid, uncontested. Feint doesn't even realize that they're doing it. Although Grumpjaw is quickly rotating up to the lane. Motivus potentially going for that gank.
Yeah, seeing Gwen pick up a book, looking to sit out here with the sustain a little bit early game, keep herself alive, because Grumpjaw does have a lot of early damage with his A. Even as a roam, can be dish out quite a bit of damage early game.
Quickly, Arden getting the blood for blood off on Vox. Not much happening though. Rotations. It seems like Take and Give is pushing up the lane slightly more. Maybe Percocets can freeze that and use that to advantage. Quite even at this point though. Quite even.
Yeah, right now just both teams getting their farm, trying to find a way to catch out one of the enemy players. I'm not seeing any openings yet, but it's only 2 minutes in, so anything can happen.
Ooh, it looks like Sky's starting up the mid. Black Feather is taking his back. Taking his fronts, rather. Oh!
Ooh, Blackfeather with the on
Blackfeather
point,
with a
able to
steal.
mid Popping
Quite a
his
bit.
boots to try to get the Sky, but not able to get him in time.
No. Although it looks like Black Feather is quickly rotating into their jungle. Darthrick maybe with a risky play, but he backs off. And quickly ports. It looks like Darthrick on Black Feather goes with the 3 crystal bits to start off, just getting that early game firepower that he needs.
Yeah,
I
3
love
crystal
Jesus.
bits, has a huge
2
poke on
crystal.
Blackfeather with his on point.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised come level 4 if he hit a major power spike and tried to set up a gank at that point in the game. Although, I love Jesus rotating up to lane on Sky. Oh, 4 Garage comes out, targets Vox. Knocks Vox down to a third of his health. Ooh, counter aggression. Coming as Darthrick rotates up the lane. On point, not hitting anything off of Darthrick. I love Jesus still sticking around. All 3 members of both teams still up in lane.
Percocets and Take and Give both pretty even in farm, not letting too much get by.
Yeah, similarly with Darth Rick and I Love Jesus, although Darth Rick does have 5 minion lead at the moment in jungle.
Jungle has intensified.
That steal on the mid trade could have definitely helped out with that.
Gotta love that feeling when both roams are higher than their laners. Resonance definitely taking its toll on Shadows. Looking like Shadows is gonna port back, maybe get some items, work towards that fountain.
Indeed, Percocets going to port too.
Right, Shadows and Motivus both picking up the fountain, so pretty even in build so far on the roam side.
Although Percocets gets the tension bow, completes her first item.
We definitely
That
gonna get
is-
a huge power spike in this early game with that tension bow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out, especially going into the late game. But hopefully, they can use that tension bow to snowball, work their way to a win.
Forward barrage coming up by I Love Jesus, not hitting anything though.
Take and Give now shopped up, got the Poison Shiv. Great first item on Vox, especially going against this comp with Ardent Shield. Poison Shiv can definitely help out with that.
Yeah, Darth Rick with that Heavy Prism and the Eclipse Prism, most likely going towards the Shatterglass first item.
Most likely,
I
a
Love
strong
Jesus
choice on
coming towards
first
that
block.
Frostburn. Pretty common item. Every once in a while seeing a Shatterglass, but we'll see when he finishes it off.
Farm
See the
still
Barb
looks
Needle
pretty
coming in.
even.
Go ahead.
Oh, farm still looks pretty even. All over. Gold lead is essentially the same for both teams. Game can still go either way. But yes, indeed, the
Yeah, see
needle
that Barb
coming out on
Needle
purpose.
and Gwen looks like she's gonna be going towards a Shiv as well, so gonna have a Shiv battle going on in this match.
Yeah, an interesting choice for sure. Interesting choice. The attack speed will definitely help though.
Yeah, not seeing too many breaking points nowadays. Seeing in favor a lot of the Tension Bow Shiv and like a Sorrow Blade or a Tyrant's Monocle.
Yeah, I would have almost preferred a Sorrow Blade to complement the Tension Bow and get Gwen to have more burst with her heroic perk, but I don't know. We'll have to see how the Poison Shiv
will
plays out.
definitely help in the sustain though, keep her alive early game. Maybe even help late game with a little bit more sustain. Just helping out when those team fights when they last a while. We see Vox going with the Six Sins and the Piercing Spear. Looks like he's going to be going for a Tension Bow as well. Seeing that very common on Vox nowadays in the meta. Tension Bow, Shiv, and like a Breaking Point or a Tyrant's Monocle.
Interesting choice to get Tension second, though. I'll have to see how that plays out, though.
Very common on Vox going Tension second because you don't really need the burst too much on Vox early game. Having that attack speed in the early sustain definitely helps out in the like first 8 minutes of the game.
Good point, especially against a Gwen. You might not want to trade much early game. Getting the Tension second would be a more natural progression.
Yeah, definitely. So we see the Shatterglass coming out on Darth Rick. Really understandable, getting that nice early damage coming out. Frostburn coming out on I Love Jesus. Get that slow, maybe make the forward barrages land a
Oh,
lot more.
quickly, he said rotates up. And they go for the
Definitely
definitely
coming out,
coming
stunning
up.
Vox.
Beautiful ult.
When
Gauntlet
Vox
keeps jump shot trap.
Ow.
Wow, first blood, and a beautiful first blood at that, with Take and Give.
Yeah, it was a
Falling
great
down.
depth from above coming out on I Love Jesus, followed up by that Aces High from Percocets. Great synergy going off from Parallax.
Wow, that combo is just absolutely beautiful, and it looks like they're going to turn it into a gold mine as a turret.
Yeah,
With
you
an immense
definitely
gold
see,
payout.
synergy in the comfortable gameplay coming out from Parallax, seeing that great combo coming out in the team fight up there.
Well, after the first blood in the gold mine, Parallax is sitting on a comfortable 1,000 gold lead. Nothing too major, but can definitely help in team fights.
Yeah, we see the Atlas coming out on Motivus, looking to shut down that Gwen as early as possible. Having only a Tension Bow and a Shiv, Atlas Pauldron on the Gwen, definitely a big problem in the early game, especially with late.
Definitely. It looks like she's building quickly into Tyrant's Monocle as a third item, which makes Atlas even more devastating if Motivus can land it. Kind of a stalemate in lane right now. Not too much going on. Poke from both sides.
Already up on Gwen, so definitely a good engage right there. We'll have the Gauntlet up on Arden in 8 seconds, so they're probably looking to engage here shortly.
Yeah, also the stuffed up on Grumpjaw. Motivus might try to quickly devour a hero being right by a turret. However, it seems...
Stuffed up on Grumpjaw,
like
definitely a really great ability to use if used well. If he's able to land it on either the Sky or the Arden, that'll definitely take a good support or good damage dealer out of that fight and definitely turn the tide.
Yeah, especially an ability canceler too. Using it on Arden as he gauntlets. Ooh. Out. Yeah, that was a beautiful Aces High. It seems like I Love Jesus is very low right now, going to port back home. Good fight, especially. Oh, Black Feather. Oh!
But that is going to be a turret for Fate.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. That was a very interesting move on Blackfeather's part, diving for the kill, securing his team the turret, but giving up his life in the process. It was a good trade, securing the turret. I Love Jesus seems to be building quickly into the Broken Myth. Solid choice. Although, Darth Rick and Take and Give don't have any crystal defense at the current moment, so I'm sure I Love Jesus will be dishing out mad amounts of damage.
Yeah, definitely not worried about the damage right now, but once that Broken Myth is finished, he's going to be start packing a punch out there, and they're definitely going to regret not having that early defense. So we see a blazing salvo coming up on Fox, so it looks like he might be going to the breaking point instead of Tyrant's Monocle. Definitely something you see a lot, able to stack up those breaking point stacks to help out in these fights.
Oh, stuffed. Catches Falling Shadows. Motivus quickly spits him out. Aces High comes out, stuns Motivus. Death from above coming out, separating Blackfeather.
Separating him from the team, though.
Disengaged from both sides. Interesting. I think Feint had the advantage in that fight. If they chose to continue, I think it would have gone their way.
Yeah, able to use that Crucible off on Shadow, so that'll be down for another 20 seconds. See the Tyrant's Monocle as well as the Pocket coming out on Percocets. Definitely looking forward to be ready this next team fight, dealing out a lot of damage.
And she sells the Weapon Infusion in favor of a Heavy Steel. Potentially looking at a 4-1 build. A solid choice, especially if Percocets is looking to be a more bursty type of win.
Yeah, having that high mobility with Gwen's perk is
Arden
definitely...
potentially getting cut out. Oh, stuffed coming out on Following Shadows. Quickly, Motivus. I think Gauntlet comes out as Following Shadows quickly tries to save himself. Really defensive.
Get out, but definitely not good having that fountain down. Grumpjaw still has the fountain up for Feint, so looking to engage here. You know, fountain's down.
Fountain's down for Parallax. For 45 seconds, Crucible down for 27, and Gauntlet down for 90. I have a feeling that if Parallax fight, it will not go well for them at all.
Yeah, Feint definitely looking to get a hard push and engage here, knowing that all the utilities down on Arden.
Feint appears to be backing off, potentially going for the gold mine.
Oh, so he's going for a Eve instead of the Broken Myth first. Seeing that they're not getting much CP defense against them, definitely taking advantage of that fact, going for the sustain first, wanting to get that Broken Myth later on when they get the defense.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting choice, for sure. Take and Give does appear to be building the beginnings of CP defense. However, he is completely undefended against Percocets, just as Darth Rick is completely undefended against I Love Jesus.
So seeing the double Atlas coming out on Darth Rick and Motivus, definitely looking to shut that Gwen down early.
Yeah, a very good choice. Leaving Gwen alive for too long would be a grave mistake, especially if she does complete that 4-1 build.
Yeah, having the tension bow, a lot of burst damage coming out, leaving her up without being pauldroned is definitely a bad thing to happen in these team fights.
Okay, Feint rotating up towards lane. Maybe looking to push something.
Turning that heavy steel into a breaking point, so gonna start getting stacks these fights, and maybe turn these fights in for Parallax for a nice ace coming up.
Yeah, definitely a nice mix on Percocet's items. A little bit of burst with the tension bow and the tyrants, with lots of sustain with poison shiv and breaking point.
Grumpjaw looking to get some nice objective clear and poke damage off, getting that Storm Crown. Running towards that Crucible here soon.
Yeah, the Crucible would definitely help block the aces high or get the team out of Following Shadows Gauntlet. It looks like, as of now, A-side does have a definite gold advantage left. It'd be interesting to see if they're looking to push that, knowing that Gwen is going to fall off late game.
Yeah, just over a 2k gold advantage coming off on the side of Feint. Maybe they'll be able to take that into advantage and push this game for their favor.
Seems like Take and Give is likewise going to be a 4-1 build. Not too often you see both carries going 4-1. Be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, definitely not seeing the threat in each other. Looking to go for that Aegis instead to fight against those junglers.
Oh, War Treads comes out on Following Shadows. Gauntlet
coming down.
Motivus trapped inside. All three members of Parallax on the side.
For Feint, though, just ignoring
turret for Feint. Stuff comes out for Motivus.
Coming down.
Motivus. Ooh. With Arden taken out of the fight, all of Parallax's carries are just annihilated by the immense damage coming out from Take and Give and Darth Rick.
Motivus going down, but leaving Take and Give and Darth Rick up to finish off Following Shadows, and that's going to be another turret and possibly a Kraken for Feint. Definitely taking the advantage and bringing this game more towards their favor.
That was a beautiful execution. Absolutely beautiful. It looks like the Sentry is going to fall as well. I don't think Feint is going to even try for the Kraken. It would be a little too risky.
Yeah, not having Motivus up, definitely a smart decision on their part. We're able to get a turret off of it, though. So got that choke point turret. Definitely a key turret to take down in these games.
Yeah, that execution from Motivus on Stuffed, that taking Following Shadows out of the fight and leaving their carries vulnerable, that was quite a beautiful play. I wonder if Arden will be forced to use the Crucible against it in the future.
Yeah, definitely something for him to think about, because him getting stuffed up like that gets him caught out very well, and definitely takes these fights more to the side of Feint.
Ooh, it looks like Feint quickly going for the aggression, and War Treads away for Parallax. Parallax not looking to fight at the moment, not looking to fight in the current configuration. Feint rotating down, sitting in the tri-bush on Parallax's side.
Pretty much full builds coming out on Percocets and Take and Give. Just got to finish off those boots. Take and Give with a little bit of movement speed advantage with those tier 2 boots over the tier 1 for Percocets.
Oh, recall stopped on Following Shadows.
And interesting, we see tier 3 journey boots coming out on Motivus instead of War Treads. Looking for him to go in, I guess, and engage, get that Atlas down on the Percocets on the Gwen.
Yes, also
on the side of Motivus.
Actually, oh, beautiful. Feint just melting the Kraken, knowing that Aurora has backed, takes the Kraken uncontested, leaving Parallax just wondering if they should fight.
Great map
Indeed,
awareness
Gauntlet comes out.
by Feint. Looking to go in there. Black Feather going down really fast from that sky. See the lack of CP defense
Oh,
definitely showing up.
wow. Take and give going down, but not before taking both Percocets and Following Shadows with him, building up those breaking point stacks. Immense damage coming out.
Definitely going to see a huge push going off with this, leaving only Sky up, but not able to get the Kraken down that fast.
Oh,
Stuffed up coming
stuffed.
out, locking Sky down, giving Kraken more time to push. Wow, great play by Motivus.
That interaction with the tier 3 journey boots as well. Using stuffed and then sprinting away to maximize the distance put between Sky and Kraken.
Yeah, definitely
That
seeing
could result
the
in an extra
advantage
turret.
coming out with those tier 3 boots.
Sky retreating quickly to base, getting energy before resuming her assault. Meanwhile, Grumpjaw takes Sentry solo.
Perkins that's coming up, definitely going to be able to take that Kraken down fast, but not before it's able to get a turret down to half health.
Lands one more hit, and then turret falls. Definitely a giant advantage in gold going over from that push to A side. Nearly 4,000. I wonder if Parallax can fight back from this disadvantage.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing good engages on the side of Team Feint. Definitely able to get in there. The stuffed up coming out of Grumpjaw, turning the tides a lot in these fights.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Quickly, Feint rotates up to lane. Following Shadows does have a gauntlet up. Might try to isolate a member and start a fight.
I
The
Love
journey boots
Jesus
coming
does
out.
now have the gauntlet being baited out and not landing very well.
Yeah, the defensive gauntlet being baited.
Yeah, I Love
Motivus
Jesus
still has
sitting
his
on that
stuff.
broken myth, looking to get more damage output in these fights from now.
That's definitely a good pickup. Especially now that Darth Rick and Taking Give have both invested in some CP defense.
Yeah, after that last fight, Darth Rick seeing what a threat I Love Jesus can be in these fights.
Oh, 4 Barrage coming out. Not hitting any members of Feint. Keeping them on their toes as they rotate back up to lane. Parallax
Definitely
looks to
looking
port
to
back.
push this lane and hopefully force an engage, knowing the gauntlet's down for another 40 seconds.
Motivus still has stuff available. However, they quickly turn towards Sentry on its last life and eliminate it completely from Parallax's jungle. Definitely makes the jungle a much more dangerous place for Parallax to be hanging around.
Yeah, we see the piercing shard coming out on Darth Rick. Looks like
Ooh.
he's looking to go for that second broken myth, get that extra pierce damage out.
Parallax and Fate just dancing around Parallax's tribush.
Darth Rick getting some nice poke damage off with that on point onto I Love Jesus. Wait for it coming down, but not
Ooh.
connecting.
Beautiful, the stuffed coming out, catching Arden once more, following Shadows completely incapacitated. Gauntlet
The
comes
on
out,
point
finally at the
melting
fight
I
end.
Love Jesus. And that's going to be another kill for Feint, taking down Shadows. And it looks like they might be
Ooh.
looking to push this game for an end.
No, it appears that
Sitting
Fate
back
is
to go for
backing off.
Kraken, going for the safe way out. Definitely a smart play by them. With only Gwen being up, small chance of them actually stealing it.
Yeah, if Percocets decided to come down, Motivus, I'm sure, is ready on his stuffed and can take her out of the fight for as long as needed.
Yeah, no
Kraken goes.
no contest coming from Percocets. Gonna get that Kraken out. This will definitely be the last few minutes of this fight. Unless
Yeah, I don't see a viable
Parallax
way
can
for
stop them and
Parallax
get
to
this
get in.
Kraken down before it takes the Vayne.
Gwen, being primarily an early to mid game hero, has dropped off quite a bit by now, and just
Now we see she got rid of the tension bow to get some metal jacket against that Vox. Definitely seeing the damage come out very well.
yeah,
And
not a
Feint
bad choice
pushing the
item-wise,
turret
but
and gonna end it before Kraken even shows up.
Fate not even needing Kraken to just plow right into base. Finishes the game off. A dominant game
Fate
for them
definitely
overall.
being the top dog in this match and not showing any sign of weakness in these fights.
Wow. Beautiful match all around. Absolutely beautiful.
Now, looking at these builds, we did see Vox with the Tension Bow, Shiv, Breaking Point, and Tyrants. Definitely something you see a lot nowadays. Not seeing much threat from the Percocets. Was able to give him that 4-to-1 offense to defense ratio. Definitely helped them out this game.
Yeah, Percocets buying armor perhaps a little bit too late, allowing Take and Give to just completely melt him in the
Yeah,
earlier
seeing a few
fights.
mistakes come out from Parallax. Anything you think they could have done differently to maybe turn this game around?
Quite honestly, I don't think so. Once Feint had that Grumchaw, the Black Feather, the Vox, and set himself up as a later game comp, and gave away, once Parallax gave away that early game without much aggression, I don't think there was a way
Yeah,
they could have won.
Parallax definitely showing no aggression that game too much in the early game, and that definitely cost them in this game. And that's going to be game one for Feint Gaming, and
And what a
we'll
game
be
one it
here ready for
was.
game two
Dominant
coming up here in
overall.
a minute.
Wow, just an absolutely dominant performance. It'll be interesting to see what Parallax decides now that they have A-side and they're going into this second game.
Yeah, definitely a lot of decision differences to be made, whether you're on side A or side B. Definitely takes some thinking and some planning as to what might happen and how to turn the game in your favor just from the draft.
It looks like we have a substitution. Playboy coming in for I Love Jesus on Parallax.
Yeah, I love Jesus. Definitely having some good plays with the Sky, but not able to get enough damage in those fights. Definitely,
Although,
maybe could have had a better pick. I think into that Grumpjaw.
yeah, perhaps a better pick, although Grumchaw is rather hard to counter, especially with
Yeah,
Arden and
Sky
Grin
plays
already picked
really
up.
well in the Grumpjaw, but picking Sky into the Grumpjaw with that Black Feather on the side for jungle, a little bit questionable. But hey, didn't quite work out for him. Maybe this next game will be a little bit different.
Hopefully so. It'll be interesting to see if we get a rhyme or perhaps even a pedal coming out. Some older picks, some unexpected picks. Could definitely be something to look forward to,
Yeah,
especially if Parallax is looking to just throw Feint off of their game.
yeah, definitely be nice to see some more less likely or unusual picks coming out in these drafts.
Okay,
No,
Playboy
definitely
joining
based
the
on that
lobby.
last game, definitely seeing why a lot of teams will sit there and ban Grumpjaw because you saw how much of a power spike and advantage they had just from the abilities from Grumpjaw, and just cutting off shadows in those team fights, unable to get that fountain off, and just keeping the team shut down.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looks like both teams are getting ready to go. Expect to be hopping in the draft in a minute. Game 2 almost begun. Feint Gaming versus Parallax. 1-0. Oh, quickly,
Definitely
the
seeing the
Grumjaw ban.
instant ban from Grumpjaw. Definitely not wanting to face that again. Seeing the
No,
damage it
not
can
after that
cause.
first match. Potentially a Vox ban coming out from Feint. Solid choice. You don't want to give up Vox to Parallax.
Yeah,
And a
going with
Vox
the Vox
ban.
ban, definitely one of the top laners this patch.
Seems like Parallax following Shadows is highlighted over that Baron. That would be an
We're
interesting
seeing
first
both
pick.
Glaive and Baron come up, so looking to see one of those hopefully in the lane.
My personal guess is Lance, the first pick. Baron.
Gonna see the Baron come out. Gonna want to scoop that up before Feint Gaming is able to take it up. Definitely a strong pick in the lane if you can make it last to the late game.
It's an interesting choice first, though. That definitely opens up a lot of assassin counters, similar to Blackfeather, that Feint has highlighted at the moment.
We're gonna see the Arden come out, and looks like as well as the Black Feather.
Well, if Motivis's Arden is as good as his Grumpjaw, I think Parallax definitely has something to be scared for. Hmm. Potentially an Idris?
Oh, we're
And
gonna
an
see
Idris
Idris come out.
indeed. Wow.
Looking like Playboy's gonna go with that Catherine pick.
Catherine, a solid roamer. Especially if she can land that silence on that Arden and that Idris. Could
Yeah,
be a game changer.
silence definitely
Hmm.
being a key part of the Catherine build.
Glaive. Glaive rounding off that comp.
So looking like we're gonna see a CP Glaive coming out here with the Catherine and the Baron. Um, looking at the highlights, they're gonna be going for Alpha, hopefully. Always good to see a good Alpha player come out in games.
Wow.
I
Comps, we have
personally enjoy
Baron,
a nice
Catherine,
Alpha game.
Glaive.
Can definitely have some nice tides where just have a huge power spike with the Termination Protocol coming out in the
Yeah, and that is definitely something that Parallax is going to have to look out for. Going into the second game, I think it's an uphill battle to stay alive in this series. I mean,
definitely strong comps coming out on both sides. Idris really strong, not quite good early game, but just like Baron, gonna hit a huge power spike once they get to mid to late game. Definitely gonna be a good fight between these two teams.
yeah, I would have to agree with you, Idris. I think once he hits level 4 especially and gets that power spike on his chakram, he's going to be near unstoppable for the majority of the mid game. If they can push the win off of that, especially with Alpha's perk, I think they're going to be very scary and very hard to stop for Parallax. It looks like Playboy going to be taking the Baron up to lane. Percocets and Following Shadows not attempting any aggression in jungle. Similarly, however, Feint isn't attempting aggression. Seems like both teams are perfectly content staying passive for now.
Merciless Pursuit coming out, get those stacks started up right away on Shadows with the Catherine. Looking like we might be seeing some technical difficulties on the side of Playboy. Just sitting up there in the under turret, not moving. Hopefully that'll get fixed up soon.
Oh,
Oh,
there he
Playboy back in
goes,
the
back in.
action. Apparently
That's
able
always
to
good.
fix his problems.
That's always good. Back in the game. Oh, maybe seeing a gank here from Percocets. Afterburn comes out. Quickly taking
Ooh,
give, punches
nice
to the back
afterburn
line.
coming off from
Merciless Pursuit
Percocets, and that's
stuns
gonna
up.
be an early kill on Take and Give. Knowing there's
Taking
no way
give.
to get out of there, just runs under the turret.
Wow. Beautiful first blood coming out for Parallax.
Great afterburn coming out from Percocets, able to shut down that Idris early game. It's definitely when they want to take and get these engages on his early game, because Idris definitely falls off early game, or has a bad start early game, not able to deal as much damage or get out as well.
Oh, definitely Playboy and Following Shadows. Looking to push up in lane. Pushing minions under turret. Definitely aggressing on Take and Give for all that they
Merciless
can while he's
Pursuit
weak.
going out there to stop the Chakram from coming out. That was a nice Merciless Pursuit by Shadows.
Yeah, forcing Darth Rick up just to ease some of this aggression coming out early from the Baron. Definitely nice to see the early aggression on Baron. They know where their team stands. If Idris is allowed to rise and Alpha is allowed to rise, they might be able to shut down Baron before he even gets going. Definitely be a
Yeah,
key to
see
this
Glaive
game.
up there, ready to go for another afterburn if the time comes. Glaive waiting patiently for that right moment to get the afterburn out, able to shut down Motivus from doing too much more support in this fight. Ooh, Prime Directive coming
Ooh.
out, getting some nice damage off on Playboy. And Darth Rick porting back, looking to get some more items, get a bit more damage on his kit.
Absolutely going to be building into that Aftershock first. Solid choice, especially against that Glaive. Glaive revealing himself, taking
Yeah,
give.
definitely when the Aftershock gets built, a huge power spike on Alpha early game.
It'll be interesting to see
Chakram coming
what
out, getting some
Playboy.
nice damage off on Shadows.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Playboy builds as his first item. He has that Six Sins, the Weapon Blade, and the Swift Shooter. Not sure where that can go.
Looking like been seeing a lot lately, a lot of tension bow starts on Baron. Seeing a tension bow Sorrow Blade double tyrants build a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So
I
he might be
I
running
almost
towards
think he might be going into a Sorrow, just to give him the sustain damage to kill Alpha before she reboots. Really, either way would be a solid build on Playboy.
Yeah, can definitely see
Darth
the
Rick
tension
rotating
bow
up for the
working
game.
well in this fight. Get that nice burst damage off on Idris early game. Definitely help take him down well.
Ooh, Wonders coming out. Still relatively even in farm. Taking Give has a 7 minion advantage. Really good for the amount of aggression coming out of Playboy and Parallax this early, but Taking Give still managing to get a farm advantage. Little skirmish now up in lane. Nice
Yeah, we're
poke on the
seeing
chakra.
Percocet's getting close to that Storm Crown. Definitely going to be a nice spike in his afterburns, being able to get them up more often. Nice true damage off on that
Ooh.
Storm Crown.
Oh, Modivus quickly retreats. There's a little bit of pressure coming out from Parallax. Still a farm advantage in both lane and jungle, but narrowing ever so slightly as this tide of aggression just keeps rolling onward for Parallax.
Yeah, Feint not taking too much of a lead. Only has a 400 gold lead right now. Could change any moment though with a nice gank or play coming up later in this game.
And Darth Rick completes the Aftershock. Modivus picking up Fountain. Following Shadows,
Percocets and
interestingly
Darth
enough,
Rick
does not
both
have Fountain.
finishing up that level 6. Definitely going to hit that power spike, having a termination protocol on Alpha. Just now hitting level 7, almost able to max out her prime directive. Getting that
Yeah, the
increased range and
increased
definitely
range.
helping with the ganks.
Oh, Following Shadows goes out for the Merciless Pursuit. Gets poked for trouble. Looked like Playboy
Yeah,
might
going
have been
back to what
trying
you
to pull it
said,
back.
you're definitely right. Looks like Baron going for a Sorrow Blade first. Pretty smart choice on his part. Definitely going to help.
Yeah, potentially going for a more sustained build in these fights. Perhaps a Sour Blade and a Breaking Point.
Yeah. You see, Idris going for a Sorrow Blade as well, but has the Coat of Plates out to counteract that early
Ooh.
game damage coming out on
Following
Playboy.
Shadows goes in with Merciless Pursuit. Afterburn comes out. Ooh,
Oh,
counter
Percocets with
aggression
the
here from
afterburn, but getting
Feint.
caught out. Lots
Chakram
of
knocking
damage
him
from the
out.
Chakram and a
Double
Prime
kill
Directive
on
coming in,
Alpha.
picking up both Glaive and Baron. Oh my goodness, and that is going to be a
Wow.
termination protocol, but caught under turret will be a death
Will
for Dark
will
Rick.
Alpha survive? Oh, Darth Rick
Darth
barely
Rick
making it out alive.
just barely able to make it out of there. That was a great
Beautiful
timed Prime
execution.
Directive coming out on Darth Rick, able to get both Percocets and Playboy out in one shot.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, even though Fountain wasn't used in that fight, Modivus did have Fountain while Following Shadows did not. So Following Shadows completely unable to keep Playboy and Percocets alive once that Chakram came out with a beautiful poke.
All right, so we see these Sorrow Blades coming out on both Taking Give and Playboy, getting a nice increase in damage from both sides. Also activating the perk from Taking Give, able to give him the blink.
Yeah. Ooh. Looks like Parallax going to retreat here, going down the shop. Perhaps picking up some more items before coming back up to lane. Does open the door for Feint to aggress
Gauntlet
on that turret.
coming up on Motivus, just now hitting level 6. That's going to be a nice engage tool coming out for Feint.
Very nice gauntlet coming out here from Motivus. We have Following Shadows, desperately trying, getting that Merciless Pursuit on the Take and Give. Shield coming out. Not much going on. Ooh. Merciless Pursuit coming out on Darth Rick. Quickly perks that springs into action with Glaive. However, Termination Protocol is up on Darth Rick. Could turn this fight completely around. Following Shadows knocked very low. And quickly enough, Following Shadows dies.
Nice prime directive coming out on Darth Rick, able to take out the Baron.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Ooh, Chakram comes out. Another good place Chakram. Could knock Percocets down to the point where he just dies. Has to be very careful of that. Dodging nicely there.
Alpha going really low on defense, getting close to that broken, actually finishing off the broken myth. Definitely going to be huge power spike coming out on Darth Rick.
Chakram comes out as Take and Give continues to farm up in lane. Nice little bit of poke coming out from Playboy. Now very confident in his position in lane. Darth Rick rotating down the shop. Taking fronts. And the entirety of Feint is shopping, giving them potentially an advantage if should they decide to be aggressive here. Prime Directive comes out on Darth Riff.
We see the Poison Shift coming out on Take and Give, looking for a little bit more sustain. Nice Prime Directive coming out on Darth Rick.
Ooh, Gauntlet baited out defensively by Motivus. Ooh. That Merciless Pursuit almost stunning up Alpha to the point where she was able to be knocked down. Only the Vanguard kept her alive from Motivus. Glaive potentially coming out of the bush. Percocets does have nice damage on the Afterburn. Ooh, Termination Protocol as the Afterburn comes out, knocking Alpha under turret, but allowing her to completely demolish Playboy. As the turret goes down,
Great
Alpha
play
dives
coming
in
out by
once
Darth
again.
Rick. Able to get in there, gets caught under turret, but Take and Give able to take it out in time to keep Darth Rick alive. Looks like they're gonna be going for gold mine now.
Yeah, gold mine should go down uncontested. And indeed it does.
Increasing Feint's gold lead to just under 4K. Or just under 5K, actually. Huge gold lead coming out by Feint.
Huge gold lead. Parallax should be scared right now.
You see the tension bow
Mid-game.
coming out on Take and Give, looking for a bit more burst damage in these fights. As well as a breaking point coming out on Playboy. So looking to build up stacks and get massive damage in these fights that if they last a little bit too long. Having the tankiness of Arden and Alpha, looking to have these fights go in for at least a minute or two. Hopefully get those stacks and just turn the tide over to their side.
Yeah, Gauntlet back up in 3 seconds. Could potentially be another game-changing fight.
And we see the minion candy coming out on the side of Feint, looking to push that wave just a little bit.
Wow, interesting pickup, minion candy. Very
I
interesting.
don't see it too often, but always fun when you do.
Infusions popped on both Dark Wrath and Take and Give.
Yeah, no infusions so far on the side of Parallax. Feint definitely looking to get huge engage here with those infusions popped.
Ooh, Merciless Pursuit. Potentially trying to lay some poke down. Chakram outpoking whatever Baron can do, however. Might be some aggression as Feint tries to potentially look for this turret. Ooh, Ion Cannon comes out, completely whiffs, misses the entirety of Feint.
Now we see Darth Rick has the Atlas, but is also going for more armor. Definitely looking to not take too much damage from Playboy here.
Yeah, he realizes that going into the late game, Playboy is going to be very threatening indeed. Still, even now, Feint trying to be aggressive, keeping up this pressure, poking down turret quite nicely. That chalk room just really doing work. Continues. Oh, Gauntlet coming out for Motivus. Crucible gets the entirety of Parallax out. And finally, Feint decides back off of the aggression, go for gold.
And Feint going to get that gold mine down and lock onto Catherine.
Looks on the Catherine. However, it looks like Parallax is not looking to fight, realizing they
Feint,
need to stick it out.
Feint making a good decision to go for the gold mine, getting it 10 seconds before Kraken comes up.
It would be an interesting play should Feint decide to go for the Kraken or even bait the Kraken now. They definitely have an advantage at this point, right over Parallax.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing the heavy armor coming off on Taking Give, he's got a metal jacket as well as a coat of plates. I'm definitely looking down to shut down Baron's damage really hard with this armor. Not having any pierce, it's going to be hard for Playboy to get through this.
Ooh,
Now, interesting thing I'm
Ion
seeing
Cannon
here is Playboy
lands
rocking
right
the Crystal Infusion.
Yeah. Oh, the Afterburn Fountain barely keeping Percocets alive. Potentially Alpha diving back in. Yeah, Alpha with a Prime Directive looking to dive. Over. Whoop. That Gauntlet saving the entirety of Feint from any counter aggression. Looks like Parallax knows this is their chance. Oh. Alpha escapes over the wall with the Prime Directive, shutting down the aggression. Quite an interesting fight coming out there. However, Parallax definitely tried to be aggressive, tried to catch Feint off of their guard, but failed as they all escaped.
Now, looking like the Crystal Infusion might have been a misbuy on the side of Playboy, rocking the level 11 weapon infusion now.
Yes, although the Crystal Infusion would give a little bit more range and to both Baron's Mortars and Baron's Leap, it really isn't the strongest buy. Probably just sticking with that weapon path and going to stay with it now.
Alpha sitting with the Journey Boots, so looking to be able to engage and disengage as she pleases.
And both teams eyeing each other up. Flares flying back and forth across the fold.
Percocet sitting with a pocket infusion, ready to pop it as soon as this team fight breaks out.
Yeah, that could definitely be a deciding factor. Ooh, Feint decides to rotate around and sit above the minion miner. Oh, Baron!
Gonna get caught.
Playboy
Oh,
jumps over the
not
wall.
quite gonna get caught out.
No, diving under turret, taking give, using his ult.
And Playboy
And he
getting
falls.
caught out pretty hard there. Is gonna be taken down.
Yeah,
Definitely
not suspecting.
A good play by Feint, looking to sit back in the back brush.
Yeah, great play indeed. And now, with Playboy down for another 21 seconds, could this be a Kraken we're seeing?
Yeah, Feint looking to take the Kraken down fairly quickly. Not gonna see too much Too much aggression on the side of Parallax to contest this. Not having much damage output on both Glaive
Oh,
and
potentially Kath coming
Catherine.
down to try for a steal. Nope. Too late. Too late on the blast trimmer.
Blast Tremor coming down to try to steal it, but not quite able to get it there in time. And we
Yeah.
see the team getting all refreshed on infusions. Ready to look to end this game right here.
Quite honestly, I'm not sure that Parallax has any chance going into this fight. With the Kraken and just the advantage that Feint has built up, I don't know if they have a shot.
Yep.
Ooh, Gauntlet coming out on Motivus. Prime Directive on Alpha, quickly getting onto the entirety of Parallax. Ion Cannon comes out. Ooh, Motivus dies to the turret aggro. Termination Protocol catches no members of Parallax. Alpha does manage to reboot, however. Take and Give is very low at this point. Might need to be careful for that Glaive Afterburn. Darth Rick still looking to poke at turret.
Looks like Feint is going to back off and let Kraken take the fourth turret.
Yeah, should be able to finish off the fourth. However, Playboy is up in 6 seconds at this point, so the fifth will continue to stand. Wow, just Feint keeping up this pressure. The next team fight could easily result in a win.
Yeah, this next team fight definitely going to determine whether this game is going to end or whether it's going to be going on for another 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, right now, Playboy not really. Ooh, quickly in engagement. No Wave Fountain going out on Catherine. Gauntlet comes out for Motivus, catches the Glaive Afterburn, stuns quickly. Ion Cannon missing all members of Para. Ooh. Prime Directive is a miss. However, Alpha still looking to poke. That core overcharge. Prime Directive landing
Nice
fully on
directive
Playboy.
by Darth Rick.
Yeah, takes him down. As Take and Give continues to chase Kath, both Darth Rick and Motivus stay on Percocets. Percocets, however, with the Afterburn up, will escape over the wall.
Taking
Or
Give
simply
able to
port
take
home.
out the shadows. Might be looking to push here. Don't know if they'll be able to do it with the glaive still up.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be content with this Crystal Sentry.
Yeah, Sentry down to 1 life remaining, so they take that out, and they'll definitely have a huge push, being able to sit in that jungle without any interruptions.
Oh, Kraken spawns just as Motivus and Darth Rick port back to base. Playboy is up right now with Following Shadows, getting up in 8 seconds. I would be very surprised to see Feint push for the Kraken. However, even if they do, I don't know if Parallax could contest. Poke, Prime Directive misses. Chakram coming out from the address. Taking Give, continuing to get some poke. Another
Ion
miss.
Cannon just missing Darth Rick.
Oh, beautiful block of the Blast Tremor. Gauntlet coming out from Motivus. War Treads used to get onto that backline, get onto Baron. Oh, Baron jumps away, just throwing damage into the mist of these enemies. Ooh, Playboy goes down, not able to do enough, even able to damage these people so much.
Darth Rick going into the reboot, but as you see, that double armor keeping Baron from able to knock her down too fast while she's in that reboot. And that looks like it's going to be another Kraken for Feint, and quite possibly this game.
Yeah, that double armor really turned out to be a great choice.
Fountain coming out on Motivus, definitely going to guarantee this Kraken push right here.
Wow, Feint able to just completely melt this Kraken.
Huge minion wave being pushed on turret right now, and with that Kraken coming in behind it, things are not looking too well for Parallax.
No, I really think this is game.
See a piercing spear coming out on Playboy. Looks like hoping to go for either a tension bow or a bone saw. Most likely going to be see a bone saw coming out on him. Hoping to pierce through
Yeah.
that armor a bit more, but coming out a little late in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. This should be game. This should be Feint taking the series. Ion Cannon, missing all targets. Only one turret standing. Should Feint decide to focus it, I think they'd be able to win this fight and win the game. Turret just completely melts. Gauntlet catches Percocets and Following Shadows in a stun.
Kraken still at 3/4 HP, and that's going to be game for Feint.
Absolutely. Wow. Once mid-game was reached, Parallax stopped having a chance. Just a
Great
absolute
gameplay
runaway.
coming out by both teams, but definitely the skill definitely coming out on the side of Feint Gaming.
Wow. They took mid-game. They knew it was the power spike of both Alpha and Idris, and they just took off. Beautiful execution overall.
Yeah.
Not giving Playboy
Parallax
the
definitely
chance to
doing a
scale.
good job with the early aggression, knowing that Idris is really weak in the early game. But definitely the double armor, definitely shutting down that Baron, knowing that Glaive isn't really going to do much, having that Stormcrown Aftershock build. And that's definitely what sealed the game for them. The piercing spear coming out on Playboy very late in the game, definitely a little late for my tastes. Should have seen it a little bit sooner, seeing that double armor coming out so early.
Yeah, knowing that double armor was there, you would think you'd pick up the piercing spear sooner. Definitely would
Decided
have.
to go for that lucky
amplified the
strike, hoping to go for the second tyrant, but realizing it's not doing enough. Tried to go for that piercing spear late game, but just not getting it in time.
Indeed. Well, there you have it, folks. Winner of the series, Fame Gaming. Beautiful execution on both first and second games.
Great
Comps
effort
coming
by
together
both
so nicely.
Good effort by Parallax, just not able to come out on top, getting shut down by Feint Gaming and the nice synergy they had with their comps. Great drafts on both sides, but Feint Gaming coming out on top for the win.
Wow. Well, a Grumpjaw roam, and then a beautiful Idris lane. A night full of surprises for sure.
Yeah, definitely some good games and nice games to watch.
Who would you say is the MVP of this match? Specifically.
I would have to give the MVP probably to Darthrick. He did really well on that Blackfeather game one, was dealing a lot of damage off on that Sky and the dealing a lot of damage off on that Sky early game, able to push a lot of damage off on there and taking a lot of those aces, honestly, with a lot of his damage. Definitely MVP of game one, and the Alpha landing a lot of those great prime directives in those games. I'm a huge fan of Alpha. He did a really great job in that game, getting a lot of his prime directives off, getting massive damage in there, not having to activate his termination protocol too often, but when he did have to activate it, definitely dealing a lot of damage and pushing those turrets, just bringing the game over to the side of Feint Gaming.
Yeah, well, thank you all for watching. This has been quite a series, and this has been the North American
Thanks.
champion.
It was a great honor shoutcasting with you, Dark Flame. Definitely had a lot of fun with these matches.
And you as well, Blake.
Glad
Two
we
great
could
matches.
entertain you guys. You all have a nice night, and enjoy the stream next time.
Yes, this has been the North American Champions League, brought to you by Band.